Japanese textbooks and apps pretty much invariably teach you to say いいえ. This is genki, and this is みんなの日本語. But did you know that we almost never say いいえ in conversation? Let's check some real-life footage of unscripted conversation.
ちなみに英語喋れますか？
喋れないです。喋れないです。
He just used the negative form of the main word 喋れます. Instead of saying yes or no, we tend to just repeat the main word, which should be obvious if you know basic Japanese. But if you don't, I will teach you the kind of Japanese that real-life Japanese people today actually speak, because textbooks and apps don't represent real-life Japanese. So click the link in the description and subscribe to my email group. Here's another example.
実際に使ったことはありますか？
ないです。ないです。
あります and ないです are both polite forms. But the other girl is just saying ない, which is a neutral form. When it comes to speaking politely in Japanese, sometimes it just comes down to your individual choice. Anyway, what if you want to say something that's equivalent to no? Take a look at this.
言ったことはありますか？
いや、ないです。いや、ないです。
She said, yeah, which is kind of like no. And it's actually the most common way of saying no in real-life conversation. You can use yeah when you're speaking politely or neutrally. If you are a salesperson and talking to your client, you might use yeah. But yeah is okay in most situations. You can say yeah is a conversational version of yeah, but they're not exactly the same. For example, we don't typically use yeah as a standalone answer. We typically use it with another sentence, like this.
いや、ないですね。いや、ないですね。
They didn't just say yeah, they added ないですね. And I found an interesting example of using yeah.
勘違いしたことあります？
いや、さすがにあります。いや、さすがにあります。
He's using yeah with an affirmative sentence, which expresses something like emphasis or surprise or strong reaction. And of course, there are other ways of responding to a yes or no question.
ちなみに英語は話せますか？
全然ちょっとって感じ。全然ちょっとって感じ。
全然 means not at all. ちょっとって感じ means it's like just a little bit. And I analyzed this 40-minute footage of 9 different native speakers to see how they responded. They used yeah and negative forms about 13% of the time, and just a negative sentence 68% of the time, and other forms 18% of the time, and いいえ 0%. So you can see that textbooks' answers don't represent real-life Japanese at all with negative sentences. With affirmative sentences though, we actually say はい。
今学生ですか？
はい、学生です。はい、学生です。
This is like a straight-up textbook answer, so it is possible to find some textbook phrases we actually use in real life, although there are plenty of other things that we don't really say. But with affirmative answers, it's actually more common to just repeat the main word.
授業中に居眠りすることありますか？
ありますよ。
あります。
はい、今日もしてきました。ありますよ。
He just repeated the main word, あります. I remember that there were some apps that actually taught you that we actually repeat the main word, but they still used いいえ. But here's a question. So does that mean we don't use いいえ in any situations? Well, we actually do, but it's typically as a form of a written answer. For example, survey answers. In the context of written survey answers, いいえ is the most natural word. We don't use いや or いえ in this context. So いいえ in itself is neither right or wrong. There are just different situations where we use different words. And textbook phrases often sound weird or unnatural in the context of conversation. Although there are apps that still sound quite weird in the context of written Japanese. And that's why I want to teach you the kind of Japanese that real-life Japanese people today actually speak. And I will teach you the right thing to say in the right context. So click the link and subscribe to my email group, Japanese with Yuta.